Welcome to Verbal Prick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. I'd like to welcome you all to the show. Thanks everyone who's checking out the docudrama that we did. Special thanks out to A-Tone Productions. Special thanks to Graphic Graphics for the support of the docudrama and everybody out there that had a hand in it. Mika Palmer, Mika the model. We appreciate all you guys' hard work. The open door. That's the title of what we're doing today. We're calling it the open door. And let me explain why. Satan had been ruling on earth for about 6,000 years, right? He knew his day of rule would come to an end, but he didn't know how. So he tried to monitor situations and people who came with knowledge to snuff them out, because he knew that in order for him to rule, a certain degree of knowledge had to be suppressed. It couldn't arise, because if that degree of knowledge arose, then the backs of the people who he was oppressing would stand straight up and knock Satan off their back and take the kingdom and rule it God's way. So Satan, slavery, murder, injustice, chaos, just so many elements he was using to confusion to rule over the people. Grafting. Satan would take with anything that God created. Satan would do the opposite and make it degrees away from the original, if you get what I'm saying. But Satan and his minions, they would rule from behind the door in the dark, but they ruled the light from the dark. But he didn't see God coming in from the shadows into the light and taught one. God raised up one, his man, his disciple, his messenger for the oppressed people. So that one who God raised, he began to raise others with that knowledge. And now that knowledge had begun to spread. Satan caught on to it because he saw that he no longer ruled 100% of the light. He started seeing he was only ruling 75% of the light at that particular time. He's trying to figure out what to do. So he's attacking, or he was trying to attack, anyone who was sharing knowledge other than what he had taught his minions to share. Anything that was sharing of good, of uprighteousness, he wanted to stamp it out. So Satan like, well, look, we got to step up our game, and we'll use the media as a tool to spread our word and to create the deceit. You know, we'll take these oppressed people and put them in roles that would degrade them, and put them in roles that would prove the stereotypes that Satan created about the people, and we'll give them high names, and we'll have the people follow them and make them leaders within their own community. But the man of God was steady working. So after Satan over time saw that his plan didn't work, he wanted to call the man of God behind the closed door to sit down and have a meeting with Satan and his minions in the dark room. But he said, you can come sit and meet with us in the dark, but you must come by yourself. So the man of God agreed. But when the man of God, followers, friends, those who knew him, saw the man of God go meet with Satan alone and go behind the door, they started having doubt. They started coming out in the public and started criticizing the man of God because they felt like they should be there too. They felt like the help that they were doing was on the same, was on equal playing field with the man of God. They really was hurt that the man of God didn't take them with him. Right? They wanted to see what was going on behind the closed doors, but they didn't realize it wasn't their mission. It wasn't their time. So the man of God goes behind the closed door, sit down with Satan and his minions by himself. And Satan says, look, what do you want? I can make you a martyr. I can give you so much. I can make you be loved by all the peoples of the world, or I can make you be hated. Which one do you want? And the man of God was like, well, I stand on truth, and what God has for me is for me, and can't no man or no one stop it or get in the way of it. And Satan said, okay, well, that's true. That's true. He said, well, tell me this. And he was speaking to the man of God. He said, what do you want? And the man of God said, well, I want freedom, justice, and equality for me and my people. Saint said, well, if I do that, my rule will come to an end. And the man of God said, well, your rule is coming to an end. You just don't know it. And so some of Satan's minions knew that, and they started seeking mercy from the man of God, which angered Satan due to the arrogance. And so Satan said, what compromise can we make? And the man of God stated, if it's not based on truth, then there is no compromise. So be it the followers or the friends or the ones who knew the man of God was hurt at the fact that the man of God didn't take them on the journey, that he went alone. They felt like he was abandoning them. So they began to speak out in the public in a negative way. But one thing they forgot, and this is what Malcolm said: whenever you have a dispute, a family dispute, you go behind closed doors, you argue it out, you work it out, even if you have to go in a closet. Then when you straighten it out, when you go out in the public, you put on a united front and you make things appear to be like it's all right. You don't add your dirty laundry out in the public. And that's what separates the man of God from the rest of them, because the dirty laundry is not aired out in the public. He don't speak ill of the distractors or detractors, because he knows his mission, and his mission is not their mission, and they don't understand. So you can be arrogant, but so what? It doesn't stop the mission, is what I'm trying to say. Time still moves forward, and prophecy still has to be fulfilled, regardless. So, since at the meeting with Satan and the man of God in the dark room, they couldn't agree upon terms. So when the man of God, before he left, he told Satan, the next time we meet, you'll be coming to me. And Satan told him, I fear you're right. Which the man of God was right, is right. So that 25% who was taught, now it's being spread to 30%, 40%. And Satan knows that he's losing his grip or his grasp on the minds of the people in which he tend to oppress. It's not working no more. He doesn't know what to do. And every time he formulates a plan or an idea, here comes an earthquake. Here comes floods. Here comes rain. Here come hot days. Here comes snow. It's throwing him off, and he knows he's not in control anymore. But his pride and arrogance won't allow him to ask the man of God, what can I do to remain, to rule the light? Because he knows that the man of God will let him know, your days of ruling the light is over, but you can walk in the light if you sell everything, put down your weapons, and come follow me. And he can't do it. He can't do it because his ego and arrogance won't allow him to be led by one whom he feel he's superior to. And everyone that follows him, and it's no degree of color, everyone who follows him, and I'm talking about the Satan, will walk themselves into their own doom because they blinded. Satan blinded them so they can't see. You can't see. And that's the gist of it. So it is what it is. But I don't want to see, personally, well, no, I take that back. I don't like to see all the criticism that goes on amongst the people in public, tearing down someone that has a track record as the one that's on the scene today that you looking at. You might don't understand, and that's fine. That's fine. You don't understand why would a man of God meet with Satan. It's not your place to understand. That wasn't your job to do. But to make things a reality and to make things real, Satan had to know for himself that the Son of Man is God in the flesh. He knows when he sees it, when he hears it, the energy when he's in front of it. You might don't know, but believe me, Satan knows. He knows. He knows who's God's son. And Satan minions Some of them want to be saved. They want to switch sides. They looking for requital. They looking for mercy. So hey, it is what it is. Verpic Radio. We're out. For those who listening to this, it's deeper than what you think. But this is all through your Bible. It's so evident. As my partner Mike V was saying, wow, just look at the world. Look at all the chaos and the crime and the robberies and the people killing it, and is folks are fed up. They tired. They want peace. They had they feeling so much, till they exhausted all of Satan's world, went through it looking for peace, and within what Satan was putting out to see if I take these drugs, is there peace in it? If I rob this brother, would that bring me to peace? If I get his money, if I do this out of Satan's world, would that bring me to peace? And the conclusion is no. You got nothing. You got nothing in the end. You did all that in the end, and you got nothing. So people are putting Satan's way in this world down because they want to enjoy this life and they want peace. Verpic Radio, we're out.